Hi, and welcome to Cowley NFL Update. This is Week 8 of the NFL. I'm Taven Wohlford, this is Bryson Turner, and this is Josh Wolf. And we'll be going over this week's locks and upsets. And I will have Bryson start with, tell me in a word or a phrase how you felt your teams did last week.
Well, my upset actually, I was 2-0 this week. And my upset was Philadelphia Eagles taking over Minnesota, and I guess my phrase would, or I guess my word would have to be exceptional, because Eagles just came out and they played minute after minute after minute. They didn't back down, and they kept taking the score up and up. So yeah, I would have to say exceptional.
Okay. And Josh?
I would say with both teams to put a phrase or a word I can't really do, but for the Lions to come on that last minute drive, I'd say miraculous. I mean, Stafford, you got him. I mean, he's one of the quarterbacks in the league that I would trust leading a final drive down the field, and he did just that. So I would say miraculous.
All right. For mine, I would say too little, too late. For the Saints, couldn't get the comeback, and then the Colts held up the Titans, so the Titans were too little, too late at the end there too. So going 1-1, I was all right with. Now we start with upsets, and we'll start with Bryson.
All right, well, my upset this week is going to be the Cleveland Browns. Finally got them in one, and I have them taking down the New York Jets. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he hadn't been playing well from the start, and then they had Geno Smith starting last week, I believe it was, and now he's out. So they're just scrambling around to find a good quarterback. And, I believe you actually said it a couple weeks ago with how the Browns are playing. They're losing all these games, but not by a large margin.
Right.
They're playing better than the record actually shows. So, I got Cleveland over New York this week.
And Ryan Fitzpatrick, he hasn't been playing that great in past couple weeks, but last week I think he stepped up. They took home a win, and I think he stepped up. However, I don't think he's where he needs to be for the Jets to be a reliable quarterback. But yeah, so.
What about you, Ted?
My upset of the week is the Raiders over the Bucks in Tampa Bay. I think the Raiders in Derek Carr have a good quarterback, and a quarterback that does very well if needs to be a fourth quarter or overtime drive. I think that's the quarterback that can really lead the team, and I like Latavius Murray in the backfield too. Just hopefully he's back in full health this week and can really pound down the Bucks.
And I really like that pick, the Raiders. For me, you never sleep on the Raiders. They're really one of those teams that
they're actually winning the AFC West.
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah. They're
Oh, wow.
They're one of those teams that you wouldn't expect it to be.
Oh, yeah.
So I really like that pick. But for my upset, I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Like you said, it was a little too late for them against Kansas City. They started to come back at the end, but they just dug themselves into too deep of a hole to get out of.
Yep.
I think that'll Sean Payton will send a message to the Saints saying, hey, we can't rely on these last-second comebacks. I think the Saints start off strong. I still like Drew Brees. I think he's good in the clutch, and so I'm picking the Saints over Seahawks.
Yeah, Drew Brees is one of those quarterbacks that, he did have a bad week last week, and like you said, too little, too late. But he's one of those that's the next week he comes back, he's not going to make the same mistake, So yeah, it's a good pick.
And moving on to locks, we'll start with Josh.
I'm gonna go ahead and lock. We've all done it so far, and I'm gonna be the last one to do it. New England Patriots. I mean, you just see this team, and it's hard not to pick them for a lock, But, however, Bills have an 11th ranked defense. New England has a 4th ranked offense, so it'll be a great matchup. We said the same thing last week, is that Pittsburgh has to shut down the tight ends. They didn't. Bills, they possibly could shut down the tight ends, and I think if they do, they definitely have a chance. But I'm still going to pick the lock. I think Gronk shows up once again.
All right. My lock for the week is the Monday night Minnesota Vikings against the Chicago Bears. Wow, the Vikings did not show up in Philly. absolutely. You made that pick 110% right. But I think they are looking to revive themselves again and come out and whoop on the Bears.
Vikings have a 32 ranked offense,
Yeah.
and Eagles showed it. You know, people are like, well, why do they have that, that bad of an offense? How do you go 5-0 with that kind of ranked offense? Well, Eagles just proved it's the defense that is doing it for Minnesota. So
my lock of the week is actually going to be Dallas Cowboys over Eagles. You know, I picked Eagles as my upset last week, and they played amazing. However, Dallas coming off of a bye, Des Bryant's back. You know, Prescott and Elliott just never cease to amaze us. Like, just every game they keep getting better and better. So I believe that, and having Des Bryant back, and then the whole Philadelphia-Dallas rivalry, it's going to be a good game. But I got Dallas coming out.
Most definitely, and this is a huge game. I mean, if you take a look at the NFC East standings, that's a super tight division. So this game for Philly and Dallas is huge. There's 5-1 for Dallas, 4-2 for Philly, and then 4-3 and 4-3 for Giants and Redskins. Super tight division. You don't want to get behind because those teams at any moment could excel. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I thought, just for fun, since it's something we can't say often, the Indians and the Cubs are in the World Series.
Absolutely.
And as of this recording, the Cleveland Indians are up 1-0 on the Cubs. And I just thought we should say how we think the World Series will end up.
I actually, I got Indians in Game 7, because they did come out to play last night. And, that momentum is exactly what you need in, say, the NBA Finals or the World Series, anything with, a best out of 7. Like, sooner you start out on top, you just got to get that train rolling, and that's exactly what they got to do.
Okay. I have the Cubs in 6. I think once they get back to Wrigley, and I think they'll take one in Cleveland. I hope they take one in Cleveland. But I think once they get back to Wrigley, that town will be electric, and I think will just fuel them to sweep at least in Chicago.
And I'm right there with you. I'm picking Cubs in Game 6. It's, one of those matchups. Game 6 still is far in the series. You know what I mean? And so Indians, heck of a ball club this year. I'm not completely counting them out. Obviously they could still win it all, but yeah, I'm excited. I want the Cubs to win. I want to see, 108 years. That's a long time. You know what I mean? And it's not been recent for Indians either. So, but it also would be cool to see Indians win since the Cavs just won.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you have, Cavs, Indians, and then the Browns. But, that's another story. But yeah, so it'd be cool. But I'm going to pick Cubs in Game 6.
Right. Well, if the Browns win this week, they're on their way, right?
They're on their way, yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Taven Wohlford, Bryson Turner, and Josh Wolf. And as always, thank you for watching.